Where did you learn to call me? Subsector in the oil and gas industry is supposed to play an obvious role, like a solution to the issue, the oil and gas, oil issues in Nigeria at the moment. Now, and he's saying that subsector is not playing that role. Please, what's your reaction to that?
Well, he's right. He's right, because if that role was being played, there was no reason why we should be having fuel scarcity at this time, considering that personally I have about 36 years in the oil and gas industry, and we continue to see repetition of some of these break in realizing our dreams, and it's really a big challenge. So I'm happy that we are meeting here today under the African Petroleum Producers Association, and from the speech from the Vice President, person from Sahara, the message is, look, we should wake up. We should wake up. We shouldn't be depending on outsiders to do it for us. And precisely, I think, if that is what we're going to take away from this conference, let it sink with us. Let us really know that we have a challenge. Otherwise, how can you explain you have crude oil and we ship it out, refine it outside, and we are importing, and now we say the dollar exchange rate is bad, so it's affecting us. Whereas if we were producing and refining the petroleum products here in Nigeria, we should be exporting by now. And of course, that will be bringing foreign exchange to us. But we just, unfortunately, mix the whole thing up, and it's not good for the nation. But let it be that the present government is committed, and they are able to lay a foundation. They're not going to be able to solve the problems in these 4 years. It's no. But if they lay a foundation, everybody can see, people will buy into it, people will latch onto it. And that is what I would really seriously advise. You know, it's not what we can see immediately. Let them tell the nation there are challenges, huge ones. There's no doubt about it. You can't solve the problems of the destruction we've had for many years, but lay a solid foundation. And that solid foundation, if it's being laid, it will be clear to everybody. And of course, excellence will play a big role. There's nowhere in the world where you don't recognize excellence. And if you do not, we'll just continue to move in cycle. So really, this is my take on the speeches of today. Let's be committed. Let's agree that Nigerians can do it. Otherwise, look at India. They don't have petroleum, they don't have crude oil, but today they are manufacturing equipment that are used in oil and gas industry. Here we are, who produce petroleum, we can't even service the equipment that are used here. This is not good. So the government must sit down and say, look, what is wrong? Let's do it. Let's monitor the laws we have put in place. Other nations, they are better because they monitor the laws that they have enacted. But when you don't monitor it, then it becomes a challenge. Otherwise, we have everything to make us great as a nation, much bigger than others.
Sir, but you have been in this industry for nearly 30 years. What are the key things that Nigeria needs to do right now? You talked about laying a foundation. When you say that, what do you mean by that?
Okay, laying the foundation, for example, we should look at our educational system, because no nation has grown and become great without recognizing good education. You just take an example from India. When India decided that, look, they want to be great, all they did was to establish great institutions. Went to the America, said, look, they want to replicate the likes of MIT. Went to United Kingdom, they want to replicate Imperial College. These are great science schools. And they did that, and before you know, it didn't happen the year they started to do that. It happened much after. For example, at some point, if you're talking about IT, you have to go to India. But it didn't happen overnight. There was preparation. As they say, when preparedness meets with opportunity, people say it's luck. It's not luck. Somebody has prepared. And that's what they did in those countries. Look at China. There was a time the Prime Minister of China was an engineer. All the ministers, it was deliberate because they just wanted to be like America or compete with them. So you have to do those things those people have done. But we are not doing that yet. We need to focus on that. There's no reason today why we cannot engage all our professionals, put them in one hall, say, look, we have a challenge. Pay their fees, do everything, because God has given them the brain. It's not all of us that can do the same thing. And these people, they are not people who go and beg for work or things like that. And this is why America, for example, you see the way they attract talents all over the world. Bring them together. By the time they train them up, people say they have been brainwashed. No, it's the condition they are provided, the facilities, that make them look as if they don't want to leave America to come back home or so. And they use them in different areas of their economy. You talk of the nuclear area, you talk of infrastructure, aircraft, military. You have all people who have come from either Nigeria, from Ghana, from all parts of the world. So we even have enough of those people to concentrate on, bring them to the best, so that we can also grow as a nation. Definitely, that foundation is education.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so just before you go, the Vice President spoke about regional refining.
We're still at the exhibition of the African Petroleum and Conference exhibition in Abuja, Nigeria. This is the International Conference Center. This exhibition has brought together key players of industries from over 18 African countries to showcase technological know-hows and expertise that would promote the operations in the oil and gas sector all around Africa. I am Omelogo Nadi, and I'll be handing you over to the Lagos studios for our regular programming.